The bridge of the celestial dawn hummed with its usual morning efficiency. Holographic displays flickered with navigation data. Crew members from a dozen species worked at their stations, and Lieutenant Mara clutched her third cup of coffee like it contained the secrets of faster-than-light travel. It didn't. It just contained caffeine, which for humans was arguably more important. Zikra, the young Velkari officer seated at the communications console, watched the human with barely concealed fascination. The Velkari were a species that resembled Earth's otters, sleek, furry, and possessed of an earnestness that made them exceptional at following protocols. Zikra took her duties very seriously, perhaps too seriously for someone who had graduated the academy only 6 cycles ago. Lieutenant Mara, Zikra chirped, her whiskers twitching. You consume that substance every 2.3 hours. Is it medicinal? Mara grinned, taking another sip. You could say that. Keeps me from committing mutiny. Mutiny is a Class 7 offense under Galactic Fleet Regula. The ship lurched, not violently, just enough to make everything not bolted downshift approximately 3 centimeters to starboard. For Mara's coffee, those 3 centimeters made all the difference. The dark liquid arced through the air in what would have been a beautiful parabola if Mara hadn't been so horrified by it. It splashed across her console, across her uniform, and, most tragically, all over the emergency alert panel. Sparks flew. Lights flashed. And then the alarm, not just any alarm. The alarm. Buwarpi! Buwarpi! Emergency drill initiated. The computer announced in its maddeningly calm voice. All personnel report to emergency stations. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. But it literally is a drill, Mara muttered, frantically wiping coffee off the sparking panel. Zikra's eyes went wide, wider than Mara thought physically possible for a creature with such a small skull. Emergency Protocol Theta 9 has been activated. Lieutenant, why did you activate Theta 9? I didn't. The coffee did. Coffee does not have command authorization. The bridge erupted into controlled chaos. Captain Thorax, a towering Kralix with 4 arms and perpetually furrowed brows, stormed onto the bridge. Report, why has Theta 9 been activated? Mara stood at attention, coffee dripping from her sleeve. Sir, there was an incident with... The human has initiated defensive protocol, Zikra announced, already pulling up emergency procedures on her screen. All crew to battle stations. Sealing bulkheads. Charging weapon systems. Deploying... Zikra, wait! Mara lunged for the Cub's console, but it was too late. Throughout the celestial dawn, 847 crew members scrambled to their emergency positions. Engineers sealed themselves in engine rooms. Medical bays activated triage protocols. Weapons officers loaded munitions that hadn't been touched in 3 years. And in the cargo bay, 16 Velkari Cubs, Zikra's younger siblings, who were on board for their academy field trip, heard the alarm and interpreted it exactly as their training had taught them. Emergency means emergency. Within 90 seconds, the Cubs had organized themselves into disaster response teams. Within 3 minutes, they had accessed the emergency supply lockers. Within 5 minutes, they had constructed a complete field hospital in the cargo bay, established 3 separate command posts, and begun inventorying rations for a 6-month siege. Captain Thorax stared at the tactical display showing all of this activity. Lieutenant Mara, explain. Mara tried. She really did. Sir, I was holding my coffee. The ship moved. The coffee spilled on the panel and it somehow activated the emergency drill protocol, the captain finished. His third arm pinched the bridge of his nose ridge. The protocol specifically designed to test our readiness, the one that requires a 3-officer authorization to activate. Coffee bypassed the authorization, sir. Zikra, who had been frantically coordinating the response effort, suddenly froze. Her paws hovered over her console. Wait. The system says this was a drill activation, not an actual emergency. Silence fell over the bridge. So, Zikra's voice became very small. There's no emergency. No emergency, Captain Thorax confirmed, and I just mobilized the entire fleet defense protocol. Because the human spilled her. Coffee? The captain said flatly. Zikra looked like she wanted to disappear into her console. But then something unexpected happened. The tactical officer, a grizzled Terran named Chen, started laughing. Then the navigator, Then, despite himself, even Captain Thorax's mandibles twitched in what might have been a smile. "Lieutenant Chen," the captain said, "what's the status report?" Chen checked his displays, grin widening. "Sir, full battle readiness achieved in 4.3 minutes. That's 1.7 minutes faster than our last actual drill. The Valkyrie Cubs? They've established a fully functional field hospital with trauma capabilities. They're requesting permission to run casualty simulations." Thorax looked at Mara, then at Zikra, then at the steaming remains of coffee on the console. "You know what? Authorization granted. We're doing this. Full emergency drill. Let's see if we can maintain this response time when we're actually trying." Mara blinked. "Sir, you heard me, Lieutenant. Your coffee just initiated the most effective readiness drill we've had in 2 years. Engineering, give me a simulated warp core breach. Medical, prepare for mass casualty scenario. Weapons, I want target acquisition drills running in 15 minutes. As the crew scrambled to turn the accident into a proper exercise, Zikra slowly turned to Mara. "Lieutenant, did your coffee just save the ship?" Mara looked at the empty cup in her hand, then at the chaos unfolding around them. Organized, efficient, perfect chaos. "Honestly, Zikra, I think it did." The young Valkyrie's whiskers twitched. "Humans are very strange." "Yeah," Mara agreed, already heading for the replicator. "We really are. Now I need another coffee. For the next emergency." Zikra's eyes widened in alarm. "Please drink it away from the consoles." 3 hours later, the Celestial Dawn completed what Captain Thorax officially logged as the most successful emergency readiness drill in vessel history. The Valkyrie Cubs received commendations for their rapid response. Zikra received a note in her file about the importance of verifying alerts before mobilizing the entire ship. And Mara received a special mug, magnetically sealed to her console with words etched on the side. "Warning, emergency fuel, handle with care." She loved it.